Dad, first of all, I just want to thank you. Growing up, you always made Mass important for us. We grew up so poor. We didn't have two nickels to rub together. You're always working two or three jobs, but you always made sure you never worked on Sunday, and you even took your vacation to work. and you never worked on Sunday, but you always made sure we got up real early. I wasn't the most enthused about that, but we always go to Mass. We are a half hour from any church, so you get me up like 6:30 in the morning, and we say a rosary on the way out always, and kind of instilled in me those values, making it special. We always go to 8 o'clock Mass down at St. Titus there in Titusville, and sometimes we take Father out for breakfast, but that was the kind of the tradition is we always go find a good meal. We had $20 left at the end of the week, and it was just wonderful. I really I appreciate all the memories. We get our weekly groceries, and then we do some kind of day trip or something. What are some of the day trips you remember we took?
Oh, I remember going down to the Loggers Museum down in the center part of the county, and we also used to go over to Warren, over to the dam there, and see the dam over in Warren, PA.
Yeah.
And like I was saying before, we went down to see the Indian caverns down by Altoona. And we also went to see Penn's Caves down there.
Oh, yeah.
We always tried to do something a couple hours away, not too far, so we could do it all in one day,
Yeah, it was always nice. I mean, it was such a sacred tradition because we just worked and had so much to do around the house there, and they make Sunday special. Make it centered around the Eucharist, made it centered around family. It was just awesome growing up. You'd make me listen to polkas on the way home. Remember the boom boom room we used to listen to?
Yep.
So it was just such a nice time. We really had a great childhood growing up, and remember we used to go to confession on Saturday nights sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And remember Father Gutting, he used to say, you'd go in first always. Mom would go, I would go in second. And then every time Mom would go in, he'd be like, you must be the Holy Spirit. The Father and Son just came. But it was special. You made, we really grew up in that church there. It was our family. Remember peeling potatoes at the church festival? Yeah. We go out there.
Yeah, they have a festival once a year.
Yeah.
Roast beef festival, and we go help peel potatoes the day before.
Forever. It was so much peeling. So no, it was really, really powerful. I thank you for making church a center of my life, and making sure that I understood the priorities, and making that tradition. I think that was the key. You made it a family thing, a celebration. So thank you.
You're welcome.
That's one of the things that I try to do now is, I try those values you instilled in me. I try to make sure, my kids have that same, memories and stuff like that. So
right.
We go to 10:30 Mass here every Sunday at St. Jude. And we always try to do something special. It might go off for breakfast. It might be something where we take a little day trip, to Ashtabula or something. But for me, I really try to instill that as well. Make Sunday holy. Make that a family day. So, once again, our kids are so busy. My daughters are in plays, and we have a lot of stuff going on, but we have to make sure we make that a priority every Sunday to take that family time. If it's playing a board game at home or whatever, making that sacred tradition. Sometimes we have you guys over for dinner. And
right, that's true.
Have a nice little dinner over. So, those are important that we as families continue those traditions, continue those that family time, especially when everything's just so fast paced. You growing up, it wasn't so fast paced. Your mom made dinner every night. You had that sacred time. For us, we long for it. You grew up. You always had family time. I mean, you guys always had dinner, right?
Right, always together.
Yeah. That's not the way it is so much anymore. So, reflecting upon that, I think we need to make sure we make that time intentional, make that family time that's very special and purposeful. So, it was always special too going to Mass. We got close to Father, being an altar server, had that relationship with him. We'd have, remember we would have Father Dedish out and for pigs in a blanket, and
Right.
it was nice getting closer to the priest and seeing the human side of our pastors, and that was very special growing up. We got a good relationship with Father Gutting for many years. Remember Christmas Eve, we were going to Mass. It was bad weather out, and we got all the way to Hightown, and the car died.
Yep, I remember that.
And Father Gutting, we called the church. I don't know how we got to a phone, but we called the church, and we said, Father, can you send somebody? We don't have there's nothing out here. It's Christmas Eve, so he came out personally, picked us up, took us to Mass, and at the end of the Mass, he threw his keys at you, and he said, take my car for the week. He goes, I'm here all week anyhow. He goes, make sure you see your family. And I mean, that just meant so much. I mean, to me, it did. Growing up, that you saw that side, that very generous side of priests and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't see that all the time.
Right. That was very powerful. So growing up in the church, being close to our family, we got to, kind of adopted uncles and stuff like that, these priests and these people in our lives. So it was just wonderful. So thank you.
You're welcome.